Yes, thanks for reminding me, Madan. Since
Welcome.
we know the expectations, I'm not going to talk much on that. Okay, let's get started. So we will start with the basics because the word accountability can have different meaning to different people. Just to align that all of us are on the same pages, we'll start with the definition. Then we will move on to the why. Why is it important? Because our logical part of the brain, when it knows the reason why, it kind of gets convinced more and you start to buy in the message more. So with that psychological aspect, we will also see why accountability. And then we will also see who are we accountable to. Okay. So we're learning about this, but who are we accountable to? That we will see. And then we will see 3 tips, okay, not 30 tips within the limited time, 3 tips to display accountability, especially at work, but you can also use it for your personal life. And then some cherry picked scenarios, again, given by Vijay to discuss on the role plays. Okay, so this is going to be the agenda. And anywhere you have questions after I finish the slide, you can feel free to share your thoughts or ask questions. So this is the definition of accountability according to according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Okay, to be very precise. Nelson, since he's already on unmute, can you go ahead and read this for us, please?
Yeah, accountability is the obligation to answer for one's action and decisions. It involves taking ownership of outcomes and accepting consequences.
Okay, thank you, Nelson. He has read this. What is your understanding about this definition? You can say it in Tamil, you can say it in Hindi. I can understand Hindi or English, whichever is your choice. What did you understand from this definition?
So taking responsibility for any one of the actions. So if there is no,
Mm,
if for example, if the silence are, we get
mm,
initiate to talk, right? So in the same way,
mm,
we are taking the ownership of any actions. That's what accountability states, I think.
mm.
So. Yeah,
Yes.
that's.
And not just actions. When
Mm.
you do an action, what is the outcome or the consequence? That also is something which should be owned by us, is the definition of accountability. All right. Okay. Now we are accountable to a lot of people, but whatever has chopped my mind, that I have put it, especially our clients, our referral sources. When I say referral sources, somebody would have recommended us for this job, okay, or maybe from a social media, or you would have referenced, you would have referenced somebody to the other person, our colleagues, okay, our community groups we are involved in, because I'm part of coaching forum also, like that. If you are part of some community group, that is also a set of group to which you're accountable, and your family, and then yourselves, and then your employer. Okay, no particular sequence has this been arranged, but these are predominantly the set of people or groups to whom we are accountable for. So accountability doesn't work in just one place. It spreads across various areas. Just to show the importance of it, I have put this across. Now, again, a question to you. I would request each and everyone to answer. In case if your audio is not working, you can always type in the chat. What qualities, according to you, a person should display to call him or her as an accountable person? Let me say that again. What qualities, okay, a person should display or have so that you will call that person as an accountable person? Again, no right or wrong answers according to you.
First, respect.
Okay, thank you.
So next is greetings, whatever the talk
Mm,
goes on.
mm.
So first thing is respect. That's it.
Okay. How
Yeah,
about the others? Yeah,
for me, trust.
trust. Wonderful.
Responsibility, taking responsibility.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Time sense.
Okay, they should value their time, and when they are saying a particular time, they should be on time. Okay. Say, Shadran, what do you think?
Respect and behavior.
Okay, behavior, how they behave. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, can you confidently say that your colleagues are accountable? You don't have to point out a particular name. Okay. In your mind, you can say the answer. Yes. Just a reflective question. Can you confidently say that your colleagues are accountable? So when I asked this question, maybe you would have had some faces in your mind and you would have said immediately yes or no. All right. Now let's reverse the question. Okay. Can you confidently say that you are accountable? Just a reflective question. You don't have to necessarily answer. Okay. So reverse both the questions and ask for yourself as well as the others. For the others, immediately we would have got the answer. But for us, we will think, okay, can I say yes? Am I accountable? So these kind of thoughts might come in for some people. For some of you, if you're very confident, you'll say, yeah, I'm accountable. But let's go ahead and explore, are we really accountable? Are we there? Or is there few areas which we have to work on? Now look at this one. What do you understand from this picture? Again, no right or wrong answers. Okay, you can feel free to share your thoughts. What do you understand from this picture? Yeah.
It seems those two sitting on the top are not accountable. Like they are not
Yes.
taking any action. They are watching others.
Absolutely. But all of them are in the same boat. So Rajan said, well said, Rajan. Thank you. So all of them are in the same boat. The ambience is the same. The environment is the same. If they don't go ahead and help, I don't think this half of the boat alone will sink. Together, the boat will sink. They don't see the bigger picture. Okay. They don't work as a team. Whenever I'm saying they, I'm referring to the picture here. I'm not referring to you individually. Okay. So cultural accountability. When I say cultural accountability, as a group, we are one culture, work culture. So sometimes because of the fact we think, oh, that is her job, that is his job, where we can pitch in also, sometimes we don't pitch in. And hence the bigger picture takes a toss. And we sometimes think, oh, that is the leader's job. But each one of us are our own CEOs. This is not my word. This is a word which came up in a survey by McKinsey. Okay. Only when we think we are our own CEOs, we will go ahead and do whatever is necessary without even anybody telling us. So one such picture which I wanted to share with you all. Okay. Now I'm going to play a quick video and you can also go ahead and tell me your thoughts after that video. Let me share the screen. I have to stop this sharing and reshare. Okay. Only then it will work. Not able to see that window. 1 minute. I think this is the one. Let's try. Are you able to see the YouTube video screen?
Yeah, Jasmine.
Okay. All right. Let me play that.
Whoa, that's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do. That's it.
That was a very small video. Okay. I'm going to ask you all. Okay. Sorry about that noise. 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was a very small video, right? Like, what is your thought about the video? What happened in the video? Don't even think about accountability. Just say your thoughts, okay? While you're thinking, I'm
Then
re-sharing the screen. Yes, go ahead, please.
So everyone has
when of
frustration.
the people
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
think.
Who started first? I couldn't see the name, sorry. Whoever started first, continue.
Yes, Jasmine. Whenever the people are stuck in some problem, they
Mm.
asking help.
Mm.
They need help from anyone. They are
Okay.
not moving.
They are not moving. Okay, Pragdish, good observation. Okay. Thank you. Then I think Nelson was saying something, right?
Yeah,
Yes, Nelson, go ahead. Yeah.
everyone has frustration. If anything got locked up, and I think they can't able to handle the frustration. So it's very fair to move a next step. It's very close to him, but he can't able to do that. Still in the same point. So that's what my exactly the picture shows.
They could have done something, but they did not do it.
Mm.
They were looking for someone else, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Nelson. Any other inputs? Madan, are
Maybe
you biting your nails? Very
no,
biting
no.
your nails. Okay, thinking. Okay, tell me, go ahead.
Maybe it's not their work. They're thinking like that. It's not their work. It's that's the reason they are asking for the help. But they can do the work.
Yes, correct. Good thought. See, different thoughts are coming up. Thank you. How about you, Gopi? What's your thought?
They can able to walk, but they're asking for help. So,
They can do
yeah.
something about it, but they did not do that. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So good observation. So sometimes in life, this might be an exaggerated video, okay? But sometimes in life, we might confine ourselves to our role only. And because of that, what happens? Okay, this is my role. This is their role. If they don't do it, it's their headache. Maybe in certain cases, it will be fine when it is decision involved. Okay, the CEO is the decision maker. You can share your inputs, but at the same time, you don't have control over the decision he makes. You can contribute, but you cannot demand that yours should be taken into consideration. But then there are certain set of people who won't even say anything. However, whatever I say, he is going to decide what he is going to decide. So why waste my energy? Now that is lack of accountability. That is sin of omission. Like when you have something to say, you have to go ahead and share it. If you have doubts whether that is right or not, you can take the help of your mentors or trainers or your leaders. Okay. But then go ahead, proactively contribute. Okay. And then certain times what happens, let's assume the printer is not working. Yeah. Then we'll go ahead and say in this office, nothing will work. Sometimes this thought and words automatically come. Is it nothing? There's so many things which are working. When you came in, you gave the access card worked. You came into the room. Maybe the vending machine worked. There were so many things which worked. All right. And then one single thing leads to frustration. And then we label. So be aware in your mind when you make comments about the work equipments or others' work or office related things. Okay. So when we think, okay, this is my job, I'll do only that, then we are confined in a circle. Okay? I'm okay with the fact that you should do your job. No one else can do. But at the same time, are you in a position to open up and broaden your perspective in such a way that you see the bigger picture and you are sensitizing, okay, if I don't do something about this one, the entire team will be affected. Are you taking that ownership? Are you taking that accountability? You have options to do and you're not doing. Okay, that's the question which I need you all to have it at the back of your mind whenever something is not working. Are you all with me on this point? Okay, I saw a thumbs up there. Now let's see why accountability. Okay, Palani, can I request you to read this picture, that yellow color block, please? I saw Palani, isn't it? He dropped off, is it? Ah, no, he's there. Palani, can you read this please for us?
Yeah, I think
What?
mute.
Yeah,
To maintain responsibility,
okay.
exhibit ethics, promote transparency, to enter, to take ownership.
Palani, I
Currently,
asked you to read the yellow block.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Come
I have a
on,
phone.
wake up.
Sorry, I have a phone call. That's why
Okay,
I'm
all right.
turn off
I
my
understand.
camera also.
Okay. That's why I saw you in the camera. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking you to.
just a
All
phone
right.
call.
Is it fine to read now?
Yeah, okay. No.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Accountability means people can count on one another to keep performance commitments and communication agreements.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for reading that. Yeah.
Okay.
So accountability here means people can count on one another to keep any kind of commitments which involves performance and communication. So this indirectly says that we are accountable for each other also. And the other benefits which we all know, okay, you all also told me already what do you mean by accountability? Different people gave different definitions. So trust was there, responsibility was there, and along with that the new points will be to exhibit ethics. Okay, ethics is what, when nobody is watching me also, I will take ownership, I will do the right thing. That is called as ethics. All right. And then transparent. Okay. Being very transparent about your points. Remember that CEO example where I gave, where you want to say something instead of just assuming, oh, if I say also he's going to decide on his own. Just share your part. You never know. You might contribute something which he will take into consideration or not take into consideration. You said it. You were transparent about your thoughts. Yeah. So this is the importance of accountability, and not just in corporate life, as I said earlier, for you to be a good human being also, to be accountable is important. All right. Now, 3 ways to holding yourself accountable. These are all simple things which you already know. I'm just going to give my dimension to it. Okay. The first one is showing up. 80% of success is showing up. Remember when you attended the interview in Vis Networks? You received a call, or maybe you applied and the interview date was declared. Imagine that you did not show up. Nothing would have happened, right? You would have not got this job. But 80% success you had when you showed up for the interview. And the remaining is your performance. But if you had not been there, then nothing would have happened in your life. All right. So, not just for this, even for your relationship, your friend is expecting something. And the time of need, all you have to do is just show up. Nobody even demands that you should do something about it, or you should help them financially, or you should do something for them. But just your presence, okay, is more important for you to be accountable. All right. So showing up is nothing but you are there completely present. Even this training for that matter, you could have been doing a number of other things. If you go off camera, or maybe in the camera also, you might be thinking something else. I cannot do anything about it. But you are trying your best to be completely present mentally and physically. So that's also a sign of being accountable. All right. So when people say accountability, they think of trust, responsibility, but there are also other dimensions to it, which is what I'm going to tell you. So 3 ways how you can display your accountability. One is showing up. Okay. Now, I also read this in one of the books which I was reading. Let me just see that so that I don't miss out on the proverb. Show up to stand out. Okay. Show up to stand out. If you want to really perform well in the team and you want to be noticed as a visible person, then the first thing you need to do towards that is showing up. Showing up for initiatives. Okay. Showing up for special occasions. Let's assume your colleague has a special time, he has invited you, and if you don't have any other emergency, go there and show up, not just in work, there also, so that the relationship builds. Because at the end of the day, when you work with your counterpart, how accountability comes, or how the other person watches out for you, is when you build the relationship. And for you to build the relationship, you need to show up. Okay. Certain people will think, oh, the 20 kilometers away, why would I go? Why would I spend money and go? But there are also a lot of non-transactional things which can happen just because of the fact that that day you showed up. He or she would proudly say, oh, this is my colleague, many people couldn't come, but he came, she came. So it makes a lot of difference in the way the next time that person will watch out for you. Right? So little things can make a lot of importance. And even for your client calls, your customers, show up if you are promising them that you will call them back. Show up for them if you are telling them you will resolve that ticket. Okay. That leads me to the second tips, which is doing what you say. Okay. Accountability is also a synonym for integrity. Okay. Integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gain. Remember, I told you the printer example. If the printer is not working, let me keep this as an open question. Imagine that your office printer is not working. Let's be very honest, okay? What is the first thing you will do?
Connection.
Okay.
I mean, the wired connection is perfectly matched up.
You will check. If you know to check that, you will check. Okay.
Accessible, I can check whether the printer is on or not.
Fair enough. Okay. What else? Vigneshwar, what will you do? You want to take an important printout. Okay. Printer is not working. What will you do? Just imagine, even if in your role you don't take printout, it's fine. Just imagine the context.
Okay, first I check the connection. Then if it's not work, then I inform to office mates.
Okay, you will inform. Okay, thank you for that answer. Let's honestly think at the back of our mind. How many instances have you noticed it, something not working, you have approached the right contact? Many times, okay, what would happen is you would think, okay, somebody will take care, let me go and come back. Vending machine not working. Okay, vending machine, you saw a bug. Okay, when I say bug, an insect, okay, you guys are highly technical. When I say bug, you will think something else. Okay, an insect you saw. Either we will not have coffee at all in that machine, that is one possibility, or we will not highlight at all. Oh yeah, let him go have it. So we might not go ahead and approach the right person, thinking that that's not my job. All right. And I was saying this because whenever you are doing something, your values should come into the picture. That is also you being accountable. All right. And doing what you say is also value, because maintaining words. I don't want to sound philosophical, but in one of the scriptures, they say that God created this world with words. So you can imagine the power of words. Okay. And I'm also going to refer some things because I noted it from a book. Okay. Now, commitment is another thing. When you are talking to your clients, your customers, or your colleagues, or your line managers, or whoever is involved in the work setup, when you say something, okay, it becomes a commitment. But many people don't see it that way. Oh, he will not let me go if I don't give this answer. So I just said something, got rid of him, and came. So all these are like unconscious thoughts which run at the back of your mind. You might not sit and think. Even in your family, imagine that you have a parent who is advising. Okay, you would have just replied saying, "Okay, okay, I'll do it," but you don't mean it. I'm not trying to brag myself. One of the values which I have in my life is I will maintain my word. If I say something, I will do it, or else I won't say it at all. Okay. And sometimes, there are times when we cannot keep up the word. That can be a medical emergency because you do not know, right, what happens next in life. But at the same time, if I say something, even if it is a commitment for a coaching call or a training call, and in my office, the client requests, okay, can you do this exactly the same time? At least once I will try asking them. I have already given a commitment of time to this person, to this group, and they will believe that and they'll come, and it might inconvenience them. I will explain all this. Is it okay? Is it a possibility for us to connect at this time? Just because he's a client, I will not hesitate. Okay, because I am valuing the commitment and the promise given to that other person. This is my context, okay? But your work is a little more critical. Now that we are in training, there is some kind of work related thing because you work 24/7. You need to attend, you need to attend. That's a different context. But I'm just giving my experience. Even with my daughter, if I tell her that I'm going to do something, just because she's a family member or she's younger, she doesn't have power and all that, I don't go back on my words. Okay. I will go ahead and ensure that I keep up that word. Now, this value of mine sometimes leads me into conflict with my colleagues and my friends because they'll just say something, but they won't honor it. I'll be thinking, oh my God, I am like this and you are not keeping up the word. So you will come across conflicts like that also with your colleagues because not everybody is raised in the same way. Let me ask you this question. Back in your home, when you were raised as a child, how many of the parents made you to eat on time? When I say on time, breakfast is 8 a.m. Okay. And lunch means 1 p.m. How many of you managed time like that when you were raised as a child? Your parents managed time like that. In how many families has this happened? Say Shadran is putting his hand up. Good. So Karthikeyan is saying. So these are some family values. Okay. For some of us, it might not be the same. Rajan is also saying. In my family, when I was raised as a child, it was not like that. Okay. My mom will cook whenever she wants. Whenever she finishes, we will eat. And as children, we did not bother all that. But later on, I was raised by my grandparent, and he was a retired police officer, okay, retired DSP, and everything was on time. And I picked up that value. So most of the time, I manage time. 1 or 2 minutes will be different. How? So this is how values form. So I'm giving you this understanding so that when you have learned accountability or you're already accountable and you're doing it with so much of integrity and your colleague is not reciprocating that with the same intensity, do not feel disheartened. Okay. And then it's human tendency to think so. Oh, I'm only like keeping up my word. He's not bothering to keep. So why should I keep up my word with him? That's not value. Value is no matter however others are, you will manage your integrity, you will manage your words, you will show up, you will have concurrence between your words and actions. Your words cannot be something and your actions cannot be something. Am I making sense?
Yes, Jasmine.
Are you able to relate this to accountability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people will observe you and think, yes, I can give this initiative to this person because if he says something, he will finish it within that timeline. So his words and actions will be in concurrence with each other. So words have power. Whenever you're saying something, use it very, very wisely. All right. Now the third one is in concurrence with whatever we saw, showing up, okay, doing what you're saying. And then the third one is following it up. Okay. You know very well follow up because being in a function where the tickets are raised, you have to go ahead and talk to the clients and then see if the ticket is closed or something like that. You do a follow up. But let me tell you what follow up really means. Follow up means checking on something and bringing it to a closure. Okay. Now, many times what happens is we will wait for the others to come back to us. Okay, I have sent this question. They are supposed to give me answers. If they don't give me answers, I will close it. So this will be the normal tendency. However, when you are an accountable person, how your thought process should work is there should be humility. Okay. When I say humility, you don't have to always like stand on one leg. I ask the question, this person has to reply. You can go ahead and proactively ask again. I had asked you this, and with that only we can go ahead with the, this particular ticket. So may I ask you to give this information? All right. So you can proactively ask. It's not disturbance. How you put the information across, how you're politely saying it, that is what is called as follow-up. All right. Not just waiting for it and then you're blaming it on the other person saying, oh, this person did not give me the information I requested. Hence, I did not have a choice. Yeah. So whenever you're following up, remember one thing. Is there something which you can do from your side to ensure that you can bring it to a closure? Then go ahead and do it. And if it is not under your control, just be satisfied. At least you did your part. Okay. So follow up is not just following it up as per process. It's also checking it on and then ensuring that you bring it to a closure and you take the accountability and ownership on you and you don't blame the other person saying he did not give, she did not give. Any questions so far? Can anyone tell me why I said humility when I was talking about follow up? Is the word humility familiar to you? Are you aware of that word? Humility means?
Heat of the moment.
No. Humility means being humble. For example, let's assume you have asked for information, okay? And you're sitting there thinking, okay, he or she did not send it. I sent it 3 days ago itself. They did not send it. It's their problem. All right. That's the normal tendency of many people. But if you're if you're following humility, what you will do is you will go ahead and recheck with that person. You will give that benefit of doubt. You'll become more empathetical. You will think, okay, maybe something would have happened. They did not notice it. Let me check it one more time. And taking the ownership on you, thinking, okay, I will go ahead, I will follow it, I'll bring it to a closure. It's my responsibility. Being humble, also in other words, can be humility. Okay. So whichever is a new word you come across, you can always make a note of it along with the meaning. And in your conversation somewhere, you can use it or write a sentence with it. So you will remember that word for a long time. Okay, I'm going to just stop by here just to give you an example of accountability again. We had so many sessions and some of you or many of you, I should say all of you were a part of that previous 5 sessions also. And some of you here and there missed few sessions because of travel or whatever reason. How many of you, after you missed it, went ahead, saw it in the recording and then made notes or just like, just saw the recording? At least let me stop with that question. How many of you went back and saw the recording? When you missed some session, how many of you went back and saw that recording which you missed? Nobody? Or does it mean nobody missed the sessions? Okay. All right. Okay, Rajan. Rajan has said he watched the recording. Fair enough. Now, I would request you to take a paper and pen, or like if you're using a laptop or something, take a blank notepad or word pad. Okay. Take a paper and pen, or if you are comfortable with the notepad or word pad on your system, you can keep one sheet open. All right. Because I'm going to ask you series of questions for which I would request you to write answers. You don't have to read the answers to me. These are again introspective questions. When you're ready, one of you give me a thumbs up. Thank you. So these are the 3 ways using which you can show or display accountability. Okay. One is showing up. Second one is doing what you say. And then the third one is following it up and taking up the ownership. And thereby you can display humility. Okay. Now the questions. Let me read one by one. And whatever is the first answer which crosses your mind, that you will write. Okay. Oh, sometimes I'm like this, so I will write yes. No. Most of the time, are you like this? Then you will write yes. If not, write no. Be very honest. I'm not going to make you to read the answer, so don't worry. The first question, did I work as hard as I could have? In your work tenure so far, okay, most of the time, did you work as hard as you could have? All right. Right. Just yes or no. Right. Number one, say yes or no. Okay. Second question is, did I set and maintain high standards for myself? Here, high standards can be your value. Okay. Just because the customer said one time no, I don't just leave it. Oh, okay. Customer said no, I'm going to close the ticket. Did you go that extra mile? Do something about it. Give them the benefit of doubt where you following it up really well? Okay. Did you maintain that high standards? So write yes or no. Did I spend enough time to do quality work? I'm attending all these sessions. Okay. What did I do about these sessions? Did I implement at least one learning from each session in my day-to-day work? Right? So that's quality work, isn't it? Not just spending 90 minutes, but taking one learning and implementing it. So did I do that? Not just for training. You can take quality as per your definition for anything. Did I spend enough time in my work also, whether it is answering to calls or whether it is handling tickets or whether it is talking to my colleagues? Did I spend enough time to do that quality work? The fourth question is, did I regulate my procrastination, distractions, and temptations in order to complete my work? I used to do this earlier, when I'm on my own, not in a training, just some report work or presentation. Suddenly I'll think of some work because mostly I'm working from home, right? My work desk is in the corner of my room. I also have a television here. In this room, nobody comes and disturbs me. Okay, I have my own space. So suddenly I'll think of something, okay, and then the phone will be in the charge there. I will go there and reply to that person and come because I suddenly remembered. And then I'll come back, I'll sit, and then suddenly I'll remember something again. Oh, I put the clothes outside, I have to take. I'll go take the clothes and come back. And then 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, suddenly I'll remember something else. Okay. Because the kitchen is downstairs, I'm in the first floor. Oh, these vessels are here, the maid will come to wash it. I'll go keep it and come. Now, if you see, none of these things are useless things. All are useful things only. But then what am I doing is I am getting into the temptation or distraction. I can call it as a distraction. So I'm doing something. I'm not finishing that work. Okay, that's my work time. I'm going ahead and doing the other chores which are distracting me. Or maybe if you have access to your phone and WhatsApp at work, now and then are you scrolling down, even without your knowledge? I know one of my friends, oh, he really irritates me, when we are in a coffee shop or maybe when we are just talking, suddenly he'll take his phone and he'll keep going through all the reels. He'll go through that Big Boss promo. I'm so irritated because, I'm sitting here right in front of you and you're taking a gadget and you're spending all your time. What is the point of a human being sitting in front of you, right? So that's my thought, but he doesn't even have a clue. He's unconsciously doing it. Okay. So are you a person who does something like that? Analyze it. Most of the time, how are you? Okay. Temptations, procrastination, distraction. You know yourself well. Give yes or no. So far, are you with me? Are these questions, any of the questions confusing? You can ask me again. I'll explain it again. If you want any question to be explained. Lokesh, are the questions clear?
Yes, Jasmine, clear.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. So far, have you written answers for all the questions? Okay. Now, did I make good use of available resources? Did I make good use of available resources? Srihari, can you tell us what is the meaning of resources here? When I say, did you make good use of available resources? What am I referring to as resources? Srihari? Rahul, would you want to answer that question? Resources means, I think Srihari is unmuted. Sorry, go ahead, Srihari. He's unmuted, but I don't hear his voice. Rahul, would you want to take up that question? Resources means? Yes, absolutely. Correct. Thank you so much for that reply. Okay. I'm just randomly calling your name so that I can include all of you in the questions. Okay. So your available resources, think about your available resources at work. Yeah. You have your desktop or laptop, you have your headset. Okay. You have access to printer. You have access to vending machines or you have access to certain portals. Okay. you have access to certain websites, whatever are the resources. Okay. Yeah. Are you making good use of them? All right. So that's the question. Most of the time, what are you doing? According to that, give yes or no. Did I ask questions if I needed help? Did I ask questions if I needed help? Or just let's phrase the question as, did I ask for help? Whenever you needed help, did you ask for it? Or you sat there thinking the whole world you have to only manage. Oh my God, if I ask, nobody will answer. Are you going into those kind of generalizations? My husband does this now and then. Okay. He thinks he has to lift the whole world on his head only. Now and then when he's angry, he will say, everything I have to do on my own. Everything I have to do on my own. So I will tell him, yesterday, who took your mother to the grocery shop? I took. Okay. I'll also go ahead and tell him somebody's laughing there. Who's laughing? Okay. So I'll remind him, yesterday I took your daughter to buy this. Okay. Who did that? Then he will say, okay. Most of the time I have to do things. He will change it. From everything, it will become most of it. Huh? So I told him once, if you want help, you ask me, because I can't understand what is going on in your brain. No, I can't read your brain. So you need to tell me if you need help, then I will help. So similarly, if you need help, nobody in the world will be able to read your brain, read your thoughts. You have to go ahead and voice it out. As simple as that. Okay, take accountability if you need help also. Did I review and re-review my work for possible errors? Very important question for all of you, because you are in a support system where critical things are handled. Because of something which you don't re-review can impact the client or the customer and the whole system also. So do you go ahead and review? See, they have not just put review and re-review your work for possible errors. Every time you can't do this, but do you have the thought to do it for important situations? Okay. Did I consider best practices for similar work? Let's simplify the question. Do you follow best practices? What are best practices? Can somebody tell me? இது நம்ம corporate lifeல இது ஒரு பயங்கரமான fancy word, best practices. What does it mean?
So when you start your day in a corporate, you have to take what are the tasks we are going to perform for a day. So which has to be in the written down in the, I mean, in that notebook. That could be one of best practice towards the work.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good point. Yeah. So maintaining a to-do list of tasks, and then thereby that helps you to prioritize also. How many of you observed that quadrant which I sent yesterday? I think yesterday or day before, in that group, WhatsApp group. I sent one quadrant, right? That can also be used for prioritizing the tasks. All right. So best practices are nothing but what can help you to work efficiently. One best practice which Nelson has already shared. Like this, your colleagues might also, or your leaders might also follow some best practices. One best practice which Vijay already shared when he set the context for this call, he was talking about sitting in different places. Even in training, in the classroom training, we do this. Okay. If a bunch of people are there in the training session, it is maybe a 2 hours or a 3 hours workshop. It's very tough to sit there and listen. Okay. So one activity we'll give and we'll tell them, okay, from this side, okay, all of the group who are sitting to my right, go to the left and sit. And whoever was sitting in the left, go to the right and sit. And sometimes I'll also tell them, if you were sitting with somebody earlier before the break, after the break, sit with another partner. In that way, you will also get to know another person. So what are we trying to do is sitting in a different place or sitting with a different person gives you a very different perspective of the entire work which you're doing, breaks the monotony. I will share a recent video which I put in my YouTube channel that talks about breaking the monotony in life. Right? So these can be your best practices. Or there might be somebody in your group, your colleague, if you really, build relationships when you're talking with them, you will know. They might be upgrading their knowledge about technology using some portal or YouTube or something. And they will know better than you. And if you just go ahead and ask them questions, you will come to know. They'll tell them, oh, yeah, what I do is every week, Sunday, I go ahead to this YouTube channel or go ahead to this portal and I learn something new. That's why I know this. So best practices can be learned from others or if you have something which is working for you, you can also share it with the others. So most of the time, if you fall into this category, then give yes. The last question is my work something for which I am proud that I would proudly show to a large global audience? Okay, let me say the question again. It's a long question. Is my work something for which I am proud? One segment of the question. Let's split it into one segment of the question. If you're really proud of what you're doing, give yes or no. Then, would you be proudly showing this to a large or global audience? Okay. I think Vijay spoke about some presentation which Nelson did. I think he would have displayed something. So, like that about your work. Let's assume suddenly in that 1 hour call, I'm asking you to talk. You have that confidence where you can proudly display it to the entire group of audience here that this is what I do. You have that kind of pride in what you're doing and confidence. I remember training a batch, I don't remember when I was talking to a person, when they introduced, they said, I am just a call center executive. That's how the introduction was. Okay. So I told them, when a customer is calling this call center, do they talk directly to the CEO or do they talk to you? And then they said, no, they talk to me. So you are the most important person in this company. Then comes the CEO. He doesn't even know who's the customer. You get to know the customer first. Now tell me how important is your job. Then they had a very different perception of looking at the entire job. All right. Okay. So that's the kind of, thought which I wanted to have you to have about your profession. So accordingly, give yes or no. Is the last question clear or confusing? Do you want me to explain it again? Have you written the answer for all the questions?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So you do a self introspection. You don't have to tell me. Just see how many S's have you got. See how many no's have you got. And you would know where do you stand. Okay. Wherever you've said no, just see if you can work on it. Okay. Yeah. These are some benefits of accountability. Okay. I'm going to take your help to read it. Karthikeyan, can you read the first 3 points for us, please?
Improved performance, greater employee participation and involvement, and increased feeling to job feelings of
Proficiency.
proficiency.
Thank you. Okay. So when a person is accountable itself, they'll feel more engaged and happy in their job. Okay. Yeah. And then the last 3 points. Madan, would you want to read it, please?
A highlight and commitment to the work at hand, added creativity and innovation, leading to higher employee morale and job satisfaction and deeper employee engagement.
Okay. All right. So if you see, commitment again comes. If accountability there, you will feel committed and you will become more creative also because you love what you're doing. And then it'll lead to higher morale, which is like, values. And you'll feel satisfied in your job and you'll feel engaged. Okay. Engagement is what, if you are in this training, most of the time I keep you engaged. Okay. Sometimes you might feel bored. Sometimes you might lose track of it. That's human tendency. But I try my best to keep you engaged because I ensure that the audience are engaged. It's a virtual program. However, when you're on your own, if you love your job, what will happen is you will not often check your phone. Okay. You will not just see. By the time it's afternoon, you will be thinking, oh, it's afternoon already, is it? You will be that engaged. So that's the benefit of accountability also. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask the same question again to you, which I asked in the beginning. All right. Now that we have learned about accountability for some extent, some steps to improve it, some questions. According to you, what qualities a person should display to call him as an accountable person? What qualities would you look in a person to label that person as an accountable person?
A genuine showing up.
Good. The word genuine has come up. Nice. Krishna Prakash, what do you think? What qualities you will see?
Punctuality, what he said the thing to us, he did within a time.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
And what we trust him to do that, he did it very well.
Very nice. Thank you. Maheshwaran?
Respecting people and respecting our words.
Okay. Wonderful. And if I have not called out your name, just go ahead voluntarily. You can answer. Okay. I'm just seeing the names and then calling randomly. Now I'm going to display a few qualities. Okay. Did somebody wanted to say something?
Yeah, Jasmine, taking
Go ahead,
ownership,
please. Taking
taking
ownership. Yes,
and responsibilities.
absolutely. Correct, Palni. Thank you. So there are a lot of qualities. Some top qualities of accountable people are listed here. Okay. Answer emails and requests. It can be just part of your work. But are you promptly doing that? Do what you promise. Okay. Take responsibility for your actions. Proactively solve problems. Look at the word problems. Proactively solve problems. Should somebody ask you, or are you proactively solving? Don't blame or make excuses. Okay. This happens with my daughter. I will tell her to do certain things, especially paste. It might look very silly. Okay. She's 17, so it's not silly for me. Every time the paste is over, the tube is over, she will not replace it. Okay. And I have told her a lot of times. This time also, morning I'm going, that complete paste is gone. There is the new paste is somewhere else. So I told her, this time I will never keep that new paste there. You should only go ahead and keep. Every time when I tell her, she'll say, I'm forgetting, I'm studying, I'm doing. So that is not accountability. But she will study well. She'll do certain other actions well. But this is a very small thing. But then, I feel that she often gives excuses and then I need to go ahead and keep it. All right. Might be a very silly thing, but sometimes it really annoys me. And I think, okay, I should stop doing that task so that she will go ahead and learn it. Yeah. Then always be ethical. Ethical is when nobody is watching, also, you will do the right thing. And then be honest, transparent, demonstrate outcomes. When I say demonstrate outcomes, when you're saying that you will do so and so, you go ahead and exhibit it in your behavior. Like, I think it was Palani who said that, or somebody else, I forgot the name, Krishna Prakash, I think. So if you are saying a time, you live by that time, you come by that time, you call by that time. Okay. That is demonstrating outcome, demonstrating action. Yeah. Review and evaluate to improve. And these questions which I gave are for that. Yeah. To review and evaluate your accountability. Show humility and apologize wherever it is necessary. Okay. My daughter won't easily ask sorry. Okay. There was one day when she was in school. Now she's in college. Okay. When she was in school, I heard this, that the teacher said something. Okay. All she could have done is just ask sorry and she could have sat down. But what she did was, the teacher asked her to go out of the room and she immediately went out. The teacher did not even finish, go out of the room. The last word was still there. She walked to the classroom and stood because she did not wanted to ask sorry. Right? So that's not humility. Humility is being humble. If you have done something, go ahead and ask sorry for it. If you have not done something, you are absolutely sure that it was not your fault, try to explain it to the other person. But if you value the relationship more, sorry doesn't cost anything. Just say sorry that you made them to feel that way, not for your actions. Makes sense? So these are some qualities using which you can show accountability in your personal life as well as work life. So some scenarios we are going to discuss, I would request everybody to involve and share your opinions. Okay. Because if we do it as a role play, what will happen? Only 2 people will be involved. I want all 14 of you, 15 of you to be involved here. So share your thoughts. The first scenario is this. Okay. Team members often fail to update tickets, work clock updates, and work qualification numbers during their shift hours. Are you a person who does this or not is not going to be my question. I'm just going to ask, let's assume you have a very difficult shift to handle. Okay. At that time, do you miss to do certain things? Or by just looking at this statement, what comes into your mind? Just share your thoughts.
Can you repeat that? I didn't get that exactly.
Yes. So team members often fail to update tickets or work log updates and work qualification numbers. You know the jargons which I'm reading out during their shift hours. Within the
Yeah,
shift hours, maybe
said
if
with
you
one
miss to.
example, right?
Sorry, Nelson, go ahead.
You said with one example, right?
Should I give another example?
Yeah. Whatever the example you previously explained, right? Can you repeat that? I didn't get that exactly.
So let's assume you have a difficult shift. Okay.
Uh,
It can be a night shift or it can be a shift like, where you're really feeling sleepy, you're pushing yourself. So because of that, within your shift hours, if you fail to update all this, then what is your thought? Are we okay to do that? Or should we have been more accountable in these situations? That was my question. New members can answer, I think. Like, you will be the new people in different shifts. Pragdish, Vigneshwaran, right? Have you started to get into work? Because I think you joined only November first week, right?
Yes, yes. Yes, we are asked your colleagues what can we do for that if we fail for update the tickets.
Mm.
They will guide them.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But then I would also want you to introspect. Have you missed to do these updates because of the fact that, maybe you had a difficult shift or within your shift hours, you had so many other things to do? If you have missed, then what is the next thing which you can do? All right. So usually when you miss to update, what will you do? What is the next action which you will do? Because I do not know, hence I'm asking you.
So if I miss to update, first thing you have to accept that I think we are already missed that part. So next, whatever we try to recover for that solution, we can provide an update and to fulfill the request. So that's what we do.
Yeah. And then proactively, the next time we can be a little more cautious that we
Yeah.
don't miss out. Okay. Thank you for sharing that points, Nelson.
So regarding that work quantification number,
Yeah.
sometimes we may tend to miss to log the work quantification hours on the respective day at the end of the shift. So in that case, if there is possibility, means next day first thing we need to file those quantification tickets, and after that we need to start other tasks on that day.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. The first thing the next day you will do that. Okay.
Yeah.
The damage is done, but what is the recovery? The first thing next day.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for
If
sharing.
it's possible, next day, or else maybe taking time at the shift, end of the.
Okay. All right. But see to that the delay doesn't impact so much. Yeah. Okay. Now the next one is lack of understanding on handling priority. Associates sometimes won't take immediate action on set priorities. Instead, they kill the priority by procrastinating. Okay. What indirectly this means is priority is what you need to action on it first. Okay. And then because of so many other reasons, you're delaying this, that becomes a procrastination. All right. So I would like to ask the experienced, employees on this. Do you see the newcomers do this, or how is it? Because if you're L2 or L3, you will definitely know the priority. But do you observe the L1 engineers do these kind of, not understanding how to handle the priority? Is this something which happens in your work, or it doesn't happen? All of you go with the priority and work on it. இது மாதிரி நடந்ததே இல்லையா workல?
I think we will be informed before it while the L1s or the new joiners joins, we'll intimate them, be conscious with this, be cautious with this. So we'll intimate them. I think
Okay.
they will prioritize according to us what we are prioritizing. Also, they will take care of that
Okay.
many
So
times.
let's look at another possibility. In case if somebody missed on the priority, okay, being the next person who's been there in the role for a long time, you can go ahead and proactively give them a feedback the next time, saying that this priority shouldn't get missed. You know to educate it in the technical terms. Do that. Take accountability there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, the thought can come, oh, I can't do my work and their work. But at the same time, remember that boat picture. If that hole is not filled immediately, eventually it will come and sink the whole boat itself. Lack of ownership. All right. Individual players with self-centric behavior lead to develop conservative closed groups instead of thinking about overall ownership to achieve team goals or objective. Right. So again, this is a generic situation which I'm going to ask you. Sometimes in life, we like certain people. Let's be very honest. We are like that. We are biased. Human beings are biased. Even back in our school or college, you would have seen that the teacher is favoring only one student. Maybe that student is studying well, or maybe just every time they will turn and look at that person only and talk. This has happened, right? So Madan is already laughing. So it means he has experienced that. Rajan is also smiling. Okay. So similarly, as human beings, even when we have become adults, we have favoritisms, favorite people. All right. But see to that you don't create a group because of that, a closed group. So what happens? The others would feel left out. Okay. I'm not thereby telling you that you cannot be friendly with people, but at the same time, in the work setup, try to maintain that equality so that everybody will have that sense, oh, I'm also special. I'm also special. He also talks to me. This person also talks to everyone, like that. So that overall ownership will come in. If there are groups, what will happen is, oh, they only are very happy. They should only do everything. And I know I am lonely. I don't have anything. They'll sit in their own silos. If we sit and think whose fault is it, then we will never come to an answer. Yeah. So it is always better to include everyone in your interactions. But at the same time, you might like somebody that's absolutely fine. You can't go with like 20, 25 people for a cup of coffee, right? You will go with one or two of your favorite friends. That's not groupism. That's different. But are you including everyone when it comes to the floor setup, work setup? Is this difference clear? Are you able to relate to what is the difference between a closed group and maintaining equality? Imagine this entire training, okay? So I'm going to address only one person and talk, and I'm not going to ask anybody else. Even if you're saying something, I'm cutting you short. That is favoritism, right? Towards that one person. I'm trying my best consciously. Sometimes I might miss out on your name, but I'm trying my best consciously to include everybody. But at the same time, I might have my favoritism, okay? I might have it in my mind. I don't show it. I'm thereby telling you that we are human beings. We might have this bias, but see to that it doesn't overpower. Okay. The fourth one is something which is a perfect match for accountability: lack of awareness on their own roles and functions. L3 engineer operates sometimes like a L2 through their roles. Though their roles were defined. Okay, that is a mistake, not through, though their roles were defined. All right. So when you get elevated to next responsibilities, sometimes old habits die hard. That is again a psychological aspect. Old habits die hard. Yeah. So when you are moving into different responsibilities or position, every day, at least for the first 1 month, you need to be aware and you need to reprogram yourself. Okay, now I'm here. Now this is my role. Now the routine has changed. And consciously, you have to do that new roles, responsibilities. Or else what happens? You will unconsciously go back to the older routine. Okay. So see to that whenever there is a change coming in, are you adapting to that change? Maintain maybe a notepad or a paper and pen or whatever is your reminder, and program yourself for that new role till you become automatic for the next 1 month, so that you don't go back to the old habits. Is this making sense?
Yes, yes.
This is called as muscle memory. Okay. Imagine that you keep a water bottle. I usually keep a water bottle here. Okay. And one day, let's assume I have kept my water bottle here to my left. Whenever I want to drink water, think of water, my hand will automatically go here only to the right side first. And then I will think, oh, I have kept it here. So this is called as muscle memory. So when you have been doing the role of maybe L2 or L1 for quite some time, and then you are moving to a new role, you need to change that muscle memory. For that, you need to be conscious and you need to reprogram yourself to that routine. And how do you do that consciously is by maintaining a to-do list. Oh, okay, these are my new set of rules. And this is what I'm supposed to do for the next 1 month at least. So it becomes automatic for you. Any questions so far?
Yeah, Jasmine. For example, I'm an L2 guy. If I ask a question, I have a query regarding one ticket or something. So I'm asking to L3. So L3 guy helps me to do the L2 work. Do they need to do or they should not, according to the scenario 4?
When you're asking for help, they're supposed to do. Okay. And when you're asking help, you're being accountable again, right? Because you're not sitting there thinking, oh, somebody will help me or not. You are at least asking for help. Whether they help or not under your control, but you're asking for it, which is you're being accountable. Now comes the L3 engineer's role. Now, him or her being the senior person, okay, somebody is looking up for them, even if they don't know. Not everybody knows everything. Even if they don't know, they can tell the other person, can you give me some time? I'll come back to you and give the answer. Or right away, don't know the answer, they can help them. And if this L2 person is often asking you the same question and troubling you, okay, that can also happen. Then at that time, you need to set the expectation, saying indirectly, okay, not directly. I'm not here to only keep helping you with the same thing. You need to learn. So make a note of this somewhere. Do this, do that. So that the next time you will be on your own. But if it is a different situation, you can always come to me. Put it that way. Did I answer your question, Madan?
Yes.
Okay.
So let me reframe the Madan question.
Sure.
So for example, L2 engineer is asking help for L3 engineer. Okay, the L3 engineer is not willing to help that person. How the L2 will react since it's a lack of awareness on his roles. How to fulfill their request or how this help should be considered to the next level.
Okay, good question. Because if somebody is not ready to help, you cannot force them, right? So the other person is not sure, they could have said, but if they are holding on to the thought that, I won't help, then you can highlight it to the next person who is above L3. Okay, go ahead, you can highlight it, but not on a complaining note, just saying that I need the support, only then I can proceed. Hence, I would request you to help me here. You can put it that way. That's a good question. Thanks. And when these questions come in, you're thinking practically how it works in your floor or your work routine. That's the right way to think. Any training, anything happens, it's a simulation here, but you are applying it to how it can benefit you in reality, and you're asking. And even after the session is over, suddenly some question pops up, you can always put it in the group also. It's not necessary that you should ask question only here. The group is for that. You can even ask questions there. Sometimes if your text is not coming in the right format of English, all that is fine. Okay, I'll at least call you and find out what's the situation. But you can feel free to put the question there also, even after the session if some question is coming up. Okay. All right, last situation. Last minute rush leads to client escalation. Okay. Bulk updates on tickets and bugs leads to escalation. Piling up backlog cases instead of taking daily action kills the process. So this again is a sign of lack of accountability. Okay. Being consistent is important in accountability. Okay? Nobody will remember you for what you did once in a while. People will remember you for what you do daily. This is the proverb. Okay. How is this relevant here is that the day's work, that the date, finish it. To be very, very colloquial, putting in this way, that the day's work, that the day, finish it. Medical emergency is different. Take help there, support there, but never have the habit of piling up. Okay. That doesn't serve you, that impacts the others also. And that doesn't just affect you, it affects everybody also. And have this rule at the back of your mind that one of your action is going to impact a lot of people. You need to be even more careful. See, you want to drink water, not drink water, your problem. It's going to only affect you. But then when it comes to situations like this, okay, that's going to affect the whole team. So you need to be very responsible. This is where responsibility comes in. I am responsible for the entire process. I am accountable for my fellow mates. Right? Any questions here? No? Yes?
No, Jasmine, all good from my side.
All good. Thank you for that response. So this is a quick summary of all that we have seen so far. We started off with accountability. Why is it important? Who are we accountable? 3 tips to display accountability. One was show up. Okay, 80% of the success comes in that. Show up for others and for yourself. Second was what? Let's see if somebody can remember.
Doing what you
What
say.
you say. Yes, absolutely. Good. And the third one was?
Don't forget to follow.
Absolutely. Following up is nothing but checking on it and bringing it to a closure, and that is your responsibility, right? So with that, we come to the conclusion. Any questions, please do ask now, or if you remember later, you can ask later also. And I also wanted to, while you're thinking about the questions, I also wanted to acknowledge each one of you. I remember the first session when nobody was talking, when everybody was very quiet, like maybe 1 or 2 people were talking. Now, like I can see voluntarily few people are talking, at least if I call the name, you're talking. So that change has come. So you don't need my presence to keep up this momentum. Even when after all the sessions are over, when you have learned this new quality, keep momentum with that. Okay, wherever there are meetings, somebody's asking you for inputs, all that, just voluntarily keep speaking, so that this change in behavior will consistently remain with you. Okay. Any questions, people? Okay. So thank you very much. Don't go away. I'm going to put my feedback link in the chat. Whoever can click it and access it here and now, you can give the feedback. In case if it doesn't work for you in this link, I will put it in the WhatsApp also. But if it works for you now, do it now, please.
No, I can get 404 error. I think some.
Is it? Okay, let me recheck the link.
I think the link is incomplete. ASPX in the last. I think so.
Just close and open again for me also.
Oh my God. Who is making that noise? Okay. All right. I checked. It's working for me. Vijay is saying it's working for him. Maybe try it in another browser or something.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'll show the screen. It's working for me. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah, Jasmine.
Yeah. So try one more time. Doesn't work, then maybe I'll put it in the this one. 1 minute. Let me stop the recording also. How do I stop the recording? Oh, here. Okay.